and it's not that you know they were wrong about the rules, but it's a different meaning today.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same idea anymore.
Different purposes, different times, different things. And personally, I think it's about time that they fizzle out. So, along with that fizzling out, apparently it's also time for the chairman of Fox News to fizzle out. No, don't get too excited. He's gone, but his son will be replacing him. Rupert Murdoch, what a name, who is 92 years old and retiring as the chairman of Fox News Incorporations, is making his son the sole exec of his media empire. Control of Rupert Murdoch's conservative media will soon be passed down to his eldest son, Lachlan Murdoch, as the mogul prepares for retirement. Murdoch added that he and the companies are doing well, so don't worry, Fox News is still going to be up for any and everybody to witness. Lachlan has long been a leader at the company and took over as executive chair and CEO of Fox Corporation back in 2019. The book Confidence Man by Maggie Haberman claims that Murdoch declared Lachlan his successor in a 2017 conversation with former President Donald J. Trump. So yeah, guys, Fox News will now be under new management. I'm sure we're all happy. I'm sure we're all so very excited to see which direction Fox News goes. I'm genuinely curious. Do we? It's. I had an idea in my head when I was researching the story last night. We've all kind of grown to expect Fox News's content. We know what to expect, what to see. My question is, do you think with a new, younger management, are we going to see more of that? Is it going to be a little more, como se dice, more unhinged? Or what do you think?
I don't think so.
What do you think?
I think it's different. Like if it's a different family, if it's someone that's raised differently, but if it's in like the bloodline, like some things my dad does, like I do too. So like
You might do the same thing your dad does, but do you do them in the same way?
well, like you learn from like if he was a leader and if his dad was his boss, like I don't think things are gonna change that much. I don't know. No,
Put
no.
it this way. Your dad might be, you and your dad, a random example here, might both be somebody who are very blunt with how you address things.
Mm-hmm.
Your dad might be calm but blunt. You might be very aggressive and assertive while being blunt. So while the delivery is the same, well, no, correction. While the words are the same, the delivery is different. And especially when I brought up the younger generation, is we've all, there's a big generational gap between, who has more respect versus disrespect. And the reason being is because from what I've noticed, especially being raised by people of an older generation, people from that time, they did the same things we do, except everything was more nuanced. Everything was more held back. They would curse you out without really cursing you out. They believed that good customer service was just letting the customer do and say whatever they want, like we've discussed. There was a lot of unspokens, whereas we see now the same things happening, except the newer generation, they're much bolder, which is part of the reason why Donald Trump got such a grand following when he ran, because that was the drive he took. He strayed away from the classic political talk and went straight in with the say it how you want, say it how it is, which resonated a lot with today's times. So I'm wondering if we'll start to see the already radical Fox News be even more in your face, because what might happen, a prediction of mine, is we might see a shift in they stop caring about playing nice or even pretending to play nice. And we might see them start, and we might see CNN rebut, and before you know it, all the major news networks will just it'll be 8 or 4 on the live streams. And somebody stop me from talking. Nina, what you had at injections?
Yeah. Actually, I think it's gonna be 50-50, right? It's either gonna be they're gonna calm down because they literally just came out of a $1.6 billion lawsuit. That they literally just, you can't keep doing that every other week. So I I mean, I don't think it'll get too much more left field than it already is. I mean, they Tucker Carlson's already gone. You still have Hannity there. You still have people that can cause, you know, an uprising. You could still, you know, have your fun. But I think those days of just like, what am I, you know, I mean, it's still Fox News. So, you know, I could be dead wrong too, right? I could be dead wrong. But I don't know. I mean, we're going from a 92-year-old man, Rupert Murdoch. So the question already is like, how much did he really have an influence on the station? You know, was it just his money, or was, you know, was he actually controlling it? We saw a little bit when the case broke out with Dominion voting systems, where, you know, we saw that they were going behind his back, and, you know, like Tucker Carlson, all the hosts were kind of in their own group chats, texting, all that stuff. So it's like, did he really have that much say in what was happening on his station? And his son Lachlan is, you know, he's 52 years old, so he's 40 years younger. So it's going to be 50-50. You know, he also left Fox in 2005 with a fight with a host, after like a little fight with a host, and, you know, now he's back. But obviously, you know, he can't be gone forever because it's his father's empire. So I'm just excited to see where this will go, because, you know, it's either going to go 50-50, where he's going to take it very downhill and kind of, you know, tear the station up. Or, you know, could you imagine he just comes in and just gives us a left swinging view on Fox? That'd be crazy. But who knows?
Honestly, yeah, we will probably we'll see some sort of a change. I am confident in that. How much of a change we'll see, we have yet to come. We could go on and on about this, but as a matter of right now, we're going to table this right now. Y'all are listening to the Morning Buzz. We will be right back. And as promised, Vincent, I'm going to make you very upset right now. We will be right back. Stay tuned. And welcome home to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. You were just tuned into the Morning Buzz. I was so happy to introduce you to that. That was I Will Be Home by Megan Trainor, in pure spite and joy at the same time. Don't you love it?
I'm a little insulted, JT. I'm a little insulted. I thought we had something here, and you snapped it in six.
Oh, too bad. We don't have anything going on between us, but what we do have is more stories. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it, shall we? So, NJ groups are good. That's not me. That's for Nino.
Yeah, that's right. So take a step back, young man.
Oh, my bad. It's not
NJ
like I could just turn off your mic. Go ahead.
New Jersey groups argue over cost, charger access, and clean goals for electric vehicles before New Jersey can require all new car sales to be electric starting in 12 years. Drivers, business owners, and climate groups will have ample opportunity to have their say on the regulations. While not proposed as a law, thus at the will of future administration, the rule's adoption would put New Jersey on track with California and a handful of other states in reducing fossil fuel pollution from passenger cars and light duty trucks, which include any vehicle under about 10,000 pounds. During the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection's virtual meeting Thursday morning, Leslie Bockel, of the independent political organization New Jersey Working Families Party, said, New Jersey traffic harms our air quality and our health, especially in communities that are nearest to our major traffic corridors, end quote. The proposal is an administrative rule in line with Murphy's clean energy goals, which include requiring all new car sales in New Jersey to be zero emissions starting in 2035, but gradually ramping up between 3 and 4 years from now. That requirement allows for hybrid vehicles too. A handful of organizations on Thursday, such as the Fuel Merchants Association of New Jersey and the New Jersey Gasoline Convenience Automotive Association, said they oppose the standards, also called, quote, ACCII, end quote, while citing electric cars' affordability, the timeline of the state's goal and charger access. The 3-hour virtual gathering, attended by about 100 people, came nearly a month after the NJDEP filed the rule to the state register, triggering a public comment period. As the public still needs to weigh in on ACCII proposal for 60 days, it's unclear when exactly the regulations will begin. It may depend on adjustments made to the rule following feedback from residents. This is crazy that we have these associations with huge names coming into these meetings and just saying, hey, it looks so bad, right? I am the person who sells fossil fuels, right? And then I come into your EV meeting and I'm saying, yeah, but they're just so expensive. It's like the person whispering in the ear saying how bad it is. Like, obviously you're gonna say that. You sell fossil fuels. You like fossil fuels. That's your job. You should convince me that. So I know you're like, you know what I mean? And you're trying to slide in here.
I was gonna say though, I was a little bit curious because I mean, of course, there's like no denying at all like the type of damage that fossil fuels has on the planet. But at the same time, I'm a little bit curious to see how if everybody like by like 2035 or however long when we're all like supposedly required to have electric vehicles, how is that going to look in terms of energy costs? Because obviously there needs to be a way to produce the energy that the car is using. Um, and I would definitely like personally look more into that because I don't know too much about it, but I just know generally like from people speaking of it that it's like people are concerned with like, oh, the power grid. So it's like not all the cars are going to be able to be on that. What's your guys' take on that?
Yeah, so it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of weird the way that they word it, right? Because it sounds like by 2035 everyone has to have an electric car, but it's by starting on 2035, any new car that is sold in New Jersey. So, you can still buy used cars, which 90% of the population does, right? Who buys a new car like that? Any new car sold in New Jersey has to be an electric vehicle / hybrid vehicle. So I don't know. It's like, and the infrastructure right now is already crazy. Like, Tesla's supercharging infrastructure is like ridiculous. It's very well put together. In all parts of the country. I know that's a huge argument, but like I feel like until you actually look at a map, until you actually see it, until you try planning out a road trip, you have absolutely no clue what you're looking at. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna Google right now. Tesla supercharger
Well,
map.
Nino's Googling. I want to hear from Vincent over here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, first of all, it sounds crazy. Like we're throwing out like 2035 and like all these crazy years, but I feel like by like 2050, maybe. I mean, because Nina's right. Like I'm not gonna buy a new car anytime soon. I don't think I have the money for it. I don't think I will. But the like used cars will always be sold. And we'll need fossil fuels to power those used cars. But I think by 2050, electric cars and any other kind of new vehicle will definitely be all you see. I think a gasoline car will be kind of what like an electric car is now. Like it
Yeah.
just looks different.
I think in terms of a situation like this, it's just really hard to find something that is like actually sustainable by the definition, just because cars are always, no matter kind of what you do with it, it's always going to require some type of resource to run it. And I mean, of course, you want to find the least negative, impactful resource that you can. I don't think that we're necessarily there yet, but I think that us trying to move towards vehicles, I think that it's more of a step in the right direction because we're moving away, obviously, from the really big, just negatively impactful industry with fossil fuels.
Yeah. I mean, how long have what? Nina, do you know like how long have we been using these fossil fuels? And it's taken a huge toll on the world that we live in. We only got one Earth.
I don't know how long we've had fossil fuels. Probably a long time, but I don't think it's enough to keep up with all the energy that it's going to take to create all these cars. But if we're going to talk about how much energy cars take, we're going to talk about planes next because that's the real problem. Apparently,
The national anthem by America.
Yeah.
yeah, y'all would even miss that one. Y'all disappoint me extra. Anyway, moving on. We're gonna move on to some more relevant news. Other than the uncultured swans I have in front of me, Strike Force 3, the show is canceled. The Strike Force 3 live event by Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Chris Colbert has been canceled due to Kimmel messing it up for everybody and testing positive for COVID. Kimmel posted to X, formerly known as Twitter, quote, well, Las Vegas, I got COVID. And sadly, we need to cancel this weekend Strike Force 3 show. I could never live with myself if I got my hometown friends sick. Thanks to all who purchased tickets, everyone will get refunds and we will try to reschedule if possible. The show is scheduled to take place at Adobe Live at Park MGM in Las Vegas on September 23rd. The event would have united the 3 late night hosts on stage for the first time ever, born out of Strike Force 5 podcast that the trio launched alongside Seth Meyers and John Oliver on August 30th. Even though the hosts' respective late night shows usually rival each other, they started meeting over Zoom when their shows went off the air as the WGA strike began on May 2nd. I didn't even know this was a thing. See, this is something
I
that
saw the podcast. I saw
they
the
have a
commercial.
podcast.
Yeah.
That's what.
So you
That's,
mean to tell me you don't know the most popular songs of the early 2000s, but you know they have a podcast?
JT, come on. I got No Diggity, and then you were like, "Oh, I'm just gonna like pull some random song."
No Diggity was the same year as Button, so you aren't that nice. Anyway,
Okay, I'm a 2003 baby. All right.
and I'm a 2002, so you really have no excuse.
Oh,
I have
3, babe.
excuses.
You do have one excuse I'll explain after, but
Because of the sportscast.
no. You might want to look in the mirror, pal. Anyway, moving on. Y'all, did y'all even know this was happening? For real though, all
Yes.
jokes aside.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I knew that it was happening. I don't know they canceled. I'm really upset that they canceled it. I mean, who doesn't like Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, and Stephen Colbert?
Stephen Colbert.
With all due respect, I be getting them mixed up.
No, it's not. Wait, Chris Colbert and Stephen Colbert.
No, in terms of
Oh,
if I
Kimmel
saw
and
one of
Fallon?
them in the street, like if I saw Stephen Colbert, I might blurt out, "Hey, it's Jimmy Kimmel," like and like that type of mixed up.
I love both Jimmys so much.
They're just 3 breeds.
They're actually across the country from each other. Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel. So you probably only see one of them on the street.
but I don't know the difference. Which one is in New York?
Jimmy Fallon.
Okay,
Fallon.
see, like that. See, maybe it's because I don't watch late night shows. Like judging by the goobers we have in front of me, potentially evening buzz where we can actually
major.
afford to be a little, because it seems like you guys only know how to be active on the morning buzz when we get to our unhinged hour. So we might want to rival these 3 and get into our half hour. Oh my God. Night owl Nicole is giving me stink eye from across the room right now at the idea of a morning buzz, evening buzz.
To the Minecraft sound effects. Like
We
the
can add
sounds in the
Minecraft
cave
sound
and stuff.
effects. While we're adding Minecraft sound effects, we're also gonna move on. We have next story. We have Garrett. You mentioned earlier about how upset I was that I didn't get tickets to Miss Rodrigo. And I'm gonna inform the rest of the crowd of why I was so upset that I didn't get tickets to see my queen.
Olivia Rodrigo's guts
Oh.
tour fan disappointment.
Nino, why don't you take it over then?
Really?
Yeah, since we gave up your story to Garrett, how about you take it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. The intense ticket demand for Olivia Rodrigo's Guts World Tour left many fans disappointed as sales started yesterday. And Ticketmaster is already trying to cushion the blow. Ticketmaster, once again, posted a statement on its website stating, quote, "There has been massive fan demand for Olivia Rodrigo's Guts World Tour, and even after the tour, added 20 additional dates to meet the demand. There are still more fans who registered than there are tickets available. Many fans trying to register for tickets were waitlisted. The ticketing service hasn't released figures on how many of those on the waitlist eventually made it through the registration. Even the fans that made it through the registration needed to curb their enthusiasm. Invitations from Ticketmaster for today's presale went out last night to a limited number of those who registered. According to Ticketmaster, getting an invitation provides an opportunity to shop for tickets, but the ability to actually buy the tickets is determined by supply and demand, of course. This high demand is very similar to Taylor Swift's Eras Tour, when the onslaught of hopeful ticket buyers crashed the seller site, prompting Ticketmaster to halt the presale.
I didn't get it.
You didn't get it?
I've been
you said
waitlisted.
You don't understand it.
No. I didn't get a
For
code.
Olivia?
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to go. She added 20 additional dates.
I don't know. I'm not gonna go.
Come on, let's do it.
Don't you? Isn't that like your bestie at this point though?
I love Olivia.
Yeah,
Rodrigo.
but honestly, after the VMAs performance, this is a hot take. After the VMAs performance, I don't know about seeing her live.
Really? Why?
It wasn't good.
Seems like other people agree.
Take that back. Take that back.
People get a second chance, I think.
I do wonder how much her tour tickets are though, because I've seen a lot of people buying them, and a lot of people were very hesitant to buy Taylor's tickets because of the price.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was assuming that it was probably gonna go up like, because I was actually talking about this yesterday with my friend. Like, it's probably gonna go up like if you can, would y'all pay like $1,000 for an Olivia Rodrigo ticket,
Nah, no,
or just a ticket in general to like go to a concert? Because
maybe.
like I personally like I love Olivia Rodrigo's music, but like I just like don't have money like that.
I traveled across the country to go see Katy Perry because it was my lifelong dream, and it was the best time of my life, and I would do it again.
It says
I
tickets are as low as 205, but they're an average of 1,000.
Dang.
For Olivia Rodrigo.
Olivia
Oh,
Rodrigo.
my goodness.
Ticketmaster strikes again.
Wow.
There's no way that Olivia herself. Listen, I respect Olivia.
She was on Bizarre Bar.
I know she had very.
He was on
humble
Master Chef Junior, is where she
Listen,
really
she
got her
actually-
start.
I
Yeah.
do respect Olivia Rodrigo. Disclaimer: as an artist, I might not have to like your music to respect you as an artist, and that's how I feel about Olivia Rodrigo. Nonetheless, $1,000, baby, I would have paid that much for Beyonce.
You talking to me?
There is very few people that I will pay. Actually, I can't think of. Look, here's what you'd have to do to get me to pay $1,000. You would have to resurrect the King of Pop himself.
Ooh.
For a one night only.
Yeah, but it'd be
Bruno-
sold out.
Bruno
People-
Mars is.
Oh yeah, we were
is
just
Bru-
looking at
Bru-
it.
Bruno's doing a set in December in
Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Vegas. It was how much? $1,800, right?
Yeah, it's a lot.
I would never pay more
$1,800.
than 200. And
Yeah, I
that's
know.
pushing it.
But let's talk about this. Olivia Rodrigo launched her Sour tour last year, and tickets were also at a high price for a starting artist. We have a starting artist right now, like Renee Rapp, who tickets are only like $80, $170 for meet and greet. I will tell you guys, and I'll admit it right now, I am going to see every single tour date on the East Coast. I'm going to Washington, Boston, every single New York show. So I think that honestly, the ticket prices should be lowered a little bit, because Olivia Rodrigo might have been too overhyped. She already started up on those high ticket prices. Meanwhile, we have Renee Rapp, who's older and has not as many streams, but I think better music.
I
Those
remember
genres,
when
yeah.
Renee Rapp had a comment. I forgot what award show it was. I don't really care for award shows. I forgot which one, but something, and Harry Styles beat Beyonce on it. And Renee Rapp, had an opinion. She respects Harry Styles, and she's literally right up her alley of music. But she just felt that Beyonce deserved that award. And just the way the Harry's flooded her comments was, sorry, excuse me, who are you? Maybe get invited to one, and then you can talk about who.
She was actually nominated for Best New Artist at the VMAs this year, unfortunately losing to Ice Spice. Ice Spice was too spicy, but Renee
You thought I was feeling you?
did
That's the next line.
comment on Ice Spice as well, which went crazy, saying that she was the people's princess and that she can give Renee whatever she wants. Personally, I think Renee should have got the award. Also, somebody that's overhyped is Ice Spice. Sorry, y'all, but you guys should listen to more
You're
Renee
right,
Rapp.
you're right,
No.
you're right. You're
Disagree.
absolutely right.
Very much.
I'm sorry. There is a very specific reason why Ice Spice is overhyped, but we are not allowed to get into that for various reasons. I'm not going to be a munch on air.
Why is
I'm not going to do that.
why is Ice Spice?
Wait,
so
pause,
hyped?
pause. Nicole, come over here. Now, I'm not going to dive into the reason that I believed Ice Spice is overhyped, but there are several reasons, none of which I would have credited to Taylor.
Yeah, Ice Spice was popping way before all that beef happened.
I will say something though. I got so excited when Ice Spice came on stage at the concert. I don't know why. She rised up from the stage and I was like,
Do y'all remember? Nobody really remembers this, but Montclair State had Ice Spice before she blew.
Yeah.
And I remember my only reaction to that was thinking to myself, when choosing a stage name, you have a vast area of things.
What do you
names
mean?
to pick from.
Montclair
Okay.
had Ice Spice. She went here.
Is that
No,
someone for the
she-
homecoming?
We had a
Oh.
like when she was up and coming.
Oh, she performed here.
Yes, but this is way before Munch. So like my initial reaction was when choosing a stage name, you have all of these, anything, like you have all this to choose from.
Are you about to say you don't like her stage name?
Ice Spice.
Okay, JT Untamed, like
Even that.
like what?
Even that.
Even
And
that-
then, so then I looked up the origins to her name. I'm like, maybe it's like spiritual, like JT Untamed has a story behind it. Ice Spice. She's like, well, like growing up, everybody would call me Isis, but like that's her name. Like her name's Isis. She'd be like, yeah, growing up, everybody would just like call me like Ice Spice. So like, you know, like it was like Ice Spice, and I was like, Munch, and I'm just like, that's it. Ice Spice.
You're a
like,
little munchkin, aren't you? You want to
First of all, her name is Isis. I can think of 10 puns. I had to sit about my name for 20 minutes thinking about
I'm sorry.
how.
Say her name again.
No.
No,
I'm-
what it
I'm
is
not
what
go-
you're saying, right?
Huh?
It
Yes.
is- yeah.
it
So
is- her
obviously
name
she
is
can't
Isis.
go by that. Obviously she can't go on stage
What
and
I'm
say
trying to say is she
everyone
can come up
yelling,
with
call
so
me,
many
like-
different. What I'm trying to say is she can come up with so many different type of puns. We can go on about this. We're gonna take a break. I'm kind of sick of talking about Ice Spice, so I'm gonna get our minds back on Olivia Rodrigo. You're not gonna pay $1,000 for a concert, but what you can do is listen to her on this short little tidbit we're gonna have for free. This is the Morning Buzz. We will.